Hey there guys, this is Obsidian Show. Got another video for today. This is coming from the test server, part of episode 46, Justice League Dark Cursed. And this one we'll be looking at the open world missions as well as the bounty for the Cursed Gotham City. Now, as a recurring question, when the release date is, we do not have an official release date yet. When we do have one, I will retroactively apply it in the description of my previous videos as well as announce it as soon as I know it myself. So in terms of the open world map, it's a cutout from Gotham City, similar to how it was with Justice League Dark when that episode came out in 2019. It's basically like a cross section of Gotham, but they expanded upon some areas. You'll see the cemetery kind of expanded on as well as I guess the crypt where the bounty is. But in terms of the daily missions, we have 3 sets of daily missions from 3 different vendors. There's going to be obviously the weekly bounty. And there's also going to be a mission where you can do it yourself, where it's basically to destroy those moonstone tablets. You have to destroy 52 of them, and it is worth 8 marks as well. So it's not tagged as a bounty in your journal, but it'll still be worth those 8 marks. So in terms of the missions themselves, they're spread out over across the map. Now, this may just be me, but it does look like somewhat of a smaller open world map. I mean, definitely smaller than Dakota City. So it'll be interesting to see in terms of the phase size and how this kind of reacts when open world when we have release on live server. I think the highest amount of people I've seen in a phase is like 12 on test server. I mean, obviously it's much lower. So when the maximum size of phase of 40 is reached, it'll certainly be interesting in terms of how that looks like. Just with how quickly these respawn in terms of the daily missions, in terms of how many players you have killing them, all throughout the map. The bounty itself, when we get to that in a moment, it does reset every 60 seconds. I'm assuming it's going to carry over live as well, so it's going to be a very quick bounty respawn, but similar to how trying to remember his name, the new bounty in Dakota City. Wow, when I don't play that DLC for so long, I forget the names. The toxic guy. Somebody can correct me in the comment section, but same thing. He has like a 30-45 second respawn timer, so that's not an issue. But yeah, the Moonstone tablets there, that mission there, that's the 8 mark one. So in terms of the actual area where kind of like the House of Mystery is, that's actually really well done. We do have different vendors. There's the Batman vendor, which we do have some new voice lines or recurring voice lines from Kevin Conroy. So that is the original Batman voice. And then we have the other vendor, Swamp Thing is the elite OP back vendor. And then Mary is, was it Mary? I can't remember. It might be Mary, but she's the actual regular vendor style. No, actually it's not Mary. Mary's the OP back mission. It's one of the other ones. So in terms of the bounty, we have the Gorgon. This is going to be very similar from that alert. Once again, the name is escaping me. I probably shouldn't do these commentaries so late in the morning as my memory is failing me. But it's essentially the same Gorgon from that last mission. So she's got the tail whip. It's going to encase you. She's going to summon some ads to fight you or her statues, as well as she's got some AoE. So, I mean, in terms of the bounty, it is what it is. It's certainly very doable by yourself. It's certainly not like some of like the annoying bounties. Like in Furrow Kondak, bounty is super straightforward. In terms of you're certainly going to take some damage if you don't have a healer in the group, or if you're not a tank yourself. So be prepared for that. It's probably, I mean, eventually it'll be soloable by control or whatever, but certainly it's not something you want to do yourself without at least some sort of heals, because you do take that damage. Plus, there's lots of knocks up from her tails and the stuns that you have to break out. Really. It's super, I mean, I wouldn't call it ironic, but it's super interesting that one of the interesting mechanics of this fight is when you defeat one of the ads, it basically, I wouldn't call it a bomb, but it just summons like a ground AoE effect, which we'll see in a moment here. So basically, each time you defeat an ad, it comes up with that red circle that does a burst damage on you. I mean, I don't know why we don't have that in the raids, but like, how interesting it would be for ads to defeat. I'm not talking about hallway ads because that would be pretty toxic because you would have nowhere to move. But if say the first boss in the first raid here, Curse the Mascara, when you have those Beastie Morphs spawn on Cersei, if you haven't watched that video already. But imagine you defeated a Beastie Morph and then it dropped that AoE circle, so right on top of the tank each time. So that gives something else for the tank to avoid, because every time you defeat an ad, either you don't defeat an ad because it could kill the tank, or you defeat the ad and the tank has to be always mindful when that ad dies. So, I mean, that's a super interesting mechanic that they could certainly add to alerts and raids that right now is taking up like kind of wasted space and just an open world bounty. But you know, that's just my thoughts on it. But I just want to give a quick little video out just to kind of show you what the open world is going to look like, what to expect from the daily missions, as well as what the bounty looks like. And then we'll continue on with the artifact and ally video. Take care, guys. Thanks again.